Hello, everybody, and welcome back. I am the Effective Collective. This is Idle Slayer, and we are grinding the end game. So, in the Grand Tour, I mentioned that there were some areas we left out, and that we were going to come back to those areas eventually. One of those areas is the Dark Factory. And we're here. We're gonna do some grinding. We like to grind active here. We need to do some preparations before we get our grind on. And I said before that I do like the Dark Factory, but usually I idle there. So there is a reason why the Dark Factory is not for everyone. And that reason is the giants. The giants in the Dark Factory have a ton of hit points. Let's find them. The Awakened Tank has 250 health and 150 armor, and if you compare that to any of the other giants, there's a Subwoofer, wow, nowhere near as strong. The Anubis Warrior, his upgraded counterpart, nowhere near as strong. Ice Fairy Queen, 450 hit points. Now that's a lot. That's a strong giant. But look at the XP difference. The Awakened Tank is worth 640 souls. The Ice Fairy Queen is only worth 380. And of course, that's a base value. There's all kinds of soul multipliers, right? There's all kinds of Super Saiyan multiplier to tack on top of that. The Electric Yeti, nowhere near as strong, nowhere near as good as souls. The Dark Archfiend, who annoyingly is not a dark type monster, nowhere near as strong, nowhere near as many souls. The Were-Rat's really wimpy and doesn't even evolve yet. And the Jade Hill Giants, again, nowhere near as strong. So the only one that even compares in terms of hit points is the Ice Fairy. And she's still nowhere near the soul count that the evolved soul tank is worth. So he's a strong giant. You need some good damage to deal with him, or at least a good strategy. And I think that's what keeps a lot of people away from the Dark Factory. But the souls are really good, but it's a very different grind. If you're going to the Dark Factory, you're rage farming. And that's that. So we're gonna slap on the Victor Ring for our 50% temporary item duration. We're gonna do a Bunny Paw. We're going to do a Critical Sword, so we improve our drop chances out of the boxes for things other than coins by 10%. We improve our crit rate by 45%. And I know I just said that this is all about the Rage Farm, but we're going to go ahead and do an Earring of the Wind, and we'll see why in a minute. And we'll slap on a couple Whetstones. You really don't need too many. Also, we already have, because if you're gonna be here for a minute, you're gonna get your slime back. We have a times 45 souls going already. We're gonna want some shard necklace for extra giant spawn. Okay, so those big tough giants we're talking about, we're gonna spawn a bunch of them, and we're gonna spawn them on purpose because the soul count is crazy. We got a souls compass for some more bonus souls, and I just wanna clarify the importance of this item. Our bonus critical souls, that's why we use the critical sword. So we're getting this 85% of the time. It also gives over 33% bonus giant souls and some active souls too. So those these giant soul tanks with all their big old hit points and their big old XP count, we want to get the most out of that we can. And then I just need to make sure, okay, bonus souls is on. I alternate between, I will turn off bonus souls if I'm coin farming, and then just turn it back on when I'm done coin farming, because I only coin farm when I get big coin buffs. So the rest of the time I really don't need it, but that is on. And we don't want to get interrupted by these mini games. We are going to leave on chest hunt because we have a soul multiplier running. And if you get a chest hunt while you have a big soul multiplier, it can be worth it. We turn off Victor Alpha. We're soul farming, so we're not scrap farming. We want every purple box to be a bonus stage. And we do not use dark projectiles here. So we're going to take a look at how we farm these giants. So we don't want dark projectiles on. We do want the Wind Dash souls, because unless we're in a rage, I'm here to tell you the bulk of the giants we kill is going to be with Wind Dash. And we don't need that Victor Ring on anymore. We're mostly going to be rage farming. So we're going to grab the Skull Ring. I need to level this up more. Oh, I need more divinity. But 13% bonus souls and an additional plus 1.6 times rage soul multiplier. That, an additional plus 1.6 multiplier is an additional 160%. Now, granted, we're getting like, I don't know, over 200,000% souls with rage on, right? So compared to that, that's not a big number, but it absolutely is a big number in terms of what's going to get added to our soul farm. So we are all ready to go. We're going to go hit this rage pill and start farming out the Dark Factory. Oh, and I mentioned the importance of damage. You're going to want a well enough leveled axe, right? So we get just some bonus souls on here, and we get bonus sword damage. You can get better axes than this. I believe the Adranos axe can have crit properties too, but don't. It is yet to give me one, y'all. I'm just cursed. I almost always get the Boreas axe whenever I craft one. So just some raw bonus souls, and I have one with ice souls, but that would only increase the soul count on the flying enemies, and really the giants are what we're here to farm. The giants are where our soul pull is going to come from, and then in addition to a good axe, you want to go ahead and craft. I like to make a week's worth of both telescopes and this sword. Every week at reset. So the Deathbringer increases sword damage by 25%. You're going to want to have that running if you don't normally run it already. Okay, and that being said, we're going to do this. So we are off to farm. And we're starting at 236 quintillion. Everyone's going to remember that number. It was really close to 237. So you know what? I'll call it 237. We've already gained over 3 quintillion in one rage. And guys, this is just going to begin. And once this soul multiplier wears off, we'll take a look at how we deal with these giants when we're not raging, and then you'll see why we went ahead and made the Wind Dash earring. So we let our rage trail off so we can grab a box. Always hope to either hit a Mega Horde or a soul multiplier extension. That's why we let our rages run off. Usually I'll do 2 rages, and then I'll drop out to see if we can catch a boss spawn. So we were going to go ahead and say we started at 237. That's 13 quintillion we farmed already. And there's a bonus stage. Oh, come on. Yes, that giant slowed me down, but we got this with literally 1 second left. 0 seconds. We got this with 0 seconds left on the soul multiplier. That's awesome. We just got in. And we have a spirit boost, so that's nice. The saws are turned off, and we should see this bonus stage get completed pretty quick with the spirit boosts. Also, I have whetstones on, so that's good. Good time to stock up on those. Would be grand to see this soul multiplier get extended, especially since we came in right at the buzzer with 0 seconds left on it. Sometimes I mess myself up here. I get too involved with discussion, and then I kind of just space out and stop paying attention to what I'm doing. Bonus stage isn't the right time for that. Up to over 80 quadrillion in the first 2 stages, thanks to, well, 2 things, the soul multiplier, but also the critical sword. This is one of the reasons I like to run dark projectiles, because that's just a straight up 60% extra souls in here. I always kill these with the bow. You get, unless you have like nothing in your active stone, you get so many more souls with the bow than you're going to get with the wind dash, even with the extra 40% from the earring. The wind dash is nice if you want to cool down your rage, but we're not worried about that. We're going to use potions for that. And over 200 quadrillion, pretty decent. We did not see that soul multiplier get extended, but that's okay. So now that we're not in a rage, we're going to go ahead and go back to the soul stone ring. And so these giants will slow you down, but you can strip their armor with the arrows and then just wind dash right through them. Every once in a while, one will muck you up. And that's why we made the extra 40% wind dash souls, because you're really not going to wind dash a lot in here, right? I mean, you could, I guess, at the slimes and the little barrels, but since we don't have dark projectiles on, the bow's just going to take care of all of those, or most of those, for us. And really, we're not worried about them. Our souls are going to come from these giants. So yeah, you just strip them down with the bow. You speed yourself up with the wind dash, right? So eventually you might be going too fast to lay out any arrows, and then you'll get stuck on a giant, and that's okay. That's just a fine time to reset. You punch your way through one giant. I use the Dark Divinity that it takes away the animation for the big heavy attack when you're attacking monsters, and supposedly that just makes you attack faster. I don't know. I don't know that I feel the effects of it, to be honest. But at the very least, hypothetically, it should make you kill things faster. And you know, a lot of the monsters in this game are one hits, so it doesn't matter anyway. But when you're taking down these giants, if you have to go through them with your sword, faster is better. Also, for idle, With the last update, they changed how idle works. So, and it's a good change, right? Because if you're playing active, you have to deal with the hit points of the monsters in front of you. And the way it worked before was with idle, it just counted, you know, giant kills every so often. So now it actually accounts for how long it would take you to punch that giant to death, right? With your sword damage. So it will slow down your idle, and that's also why the Dark Factory is not for everyone. You need damage. Now the Deathbringer sword does work while you're offline. So do the telescopes. So you can up your offline sword damage the same way you up your online sword damage, right? You get an axe, level it up, and use the Deathbringer temporary item. And yeah, so that's gonna let us do away with these otherwise very sturdy giants pretty quickly. We're up to 14 quintillion, roughly just about 15 farmed. And we've been doing this for about 5 minutes. Really, that was just rage farming out one big soul multiplier. But 14 quintillion in 5 minutes is pretty good. Pretty darn good. I would love to see an idle kit that does that, right? So, that's the thing. When you're playing active, you're fishing out buffs, you're benefiting from rage, you're going to get so much bigger multipliers to your farm, for your souls and for your coins by playing active. And it makes sense, right? You should get idle's great. I love idle. I love that we keep getting rewards while we're offline. And I like to idle the Dark Factory because the rewards are really good. But if you're going to turn the game on, spend your time playing it, spend your resources, use the temporary items. If you're going to do all that, the rewards should far outweigh the freebie stuff that you get from idle. And they absolutely do. They absolutely do. Like I said, we're not going to see 14 quintillion in 5 minutes from idle play, at least not at this stage in the game. I'm at just about 4 sextillion total ascended, like 3.94, I think, sextillion. So pretty close to 4 sextillion, about 4% of the way to our mark. So, right, if somebody had 400 sextillion farmed or 4,000 sextillion farmed, maybe that guy can get 14 quintillion in 5 minutes of idle. But for where we're at this stage in the game, no way. No way. That's active, that's using soul buffs, that's benefiting from the rage farm, using the critical sword, using rage potions, using the shard necklace for extra giants, which consumes scrap, which is why I'm always scrap hunting. Unless I'm hunkering down for a big soul farm like we're doing right now, I always have my mini games on. So basically, when I'm farming for, when I'm farming for, all my other materials, my root, my scorpion pinchers, when I'm farming out all that stuff, that's when I have my mini games turned on. Very nice. And we're scrap hunting as well. I mean, sometimes we get a nice item and we keep it. But I have a lot of nice items already, so That might be one. We'll see. My current piercing bow is pretty crappy, so maybe that'll be a better one. Okay, we're gonna get our rage farm going, and let's see what we got. Parallel shots, extra damage to giants. That's scrap. That's a scrap bow. We've got over 10 minutes on a pretty big gemstone rush. I do have my special drink online. Maybe we'll pop in and see if we can get lucky. Oh man, that's a small equipment boost though. Honestly, I'm not going to derail my soul farm. Because right, we could go get the special drink and see if we get a CPS multiplier. I don't want to derail my soul farm for such a small equipment boost. We've got 10 minutes still on this gemstone rush. We'll wait for the next equipment boost. Or maybe if we get a CPS multiplier out of the box, maybe we'll get golden box. Nice. Time added to soul multiplier. So we're up to a minute 25. Our giant spawn will still cover that, but our soul compass will wear off, so we're going to make a new one of those. Pick our rage back up, and how are we doing here? So, our root is running really low. That's unfortunate. I guess I should have looked at that before we started this, because you definitely want to start this process with a full bag of root, or as full as you can, right? But that's okay. If we get big coin buff, it'll be worth it to go over to the jungle anyway, because the coins here just aren't as good. The souls are, though. The souls are really good. 237, so we've gained 32 quintillion in less than 10 minutes. About 8 minutes, actually. And to be honest, I've done much better. On one of my last runs through here, I hit a times 60 soul multiplier twice, and I had a times 40 or a times 45, and it got extended. So that one was a pretty good showing. I farmed a lot, but we weren't recording then, of course. But that's okay. So we've still got over 8 minutes on the gemstone boost. We've pulled, let's see, still less than 10 minutes we've been on this farm. And we've pulled a ton. What, about 38 quintillion here? That's pretty good. So I think we're going to hold off here and see if we can get either a much better equipment boost or a CPS multiplier out of a box. Oh man, these giants are running real close together. If you don't have the shards necklace on, it's real easy. I see actually it wore off now, and these giants are pretty well spaced apart, right? You do want to keep your arrow spam kind of low, so that as the giants spawn, it'll catch them. With the shards necklace on, it can be kind of hard, like I said, because you wind dash to finish them off. That speeds you up. Sometimes you're already running right into the next giant, and you don't really have time to get your arrow farm. But by and large, this is a plenty effective way to do away with what is an otherwise pretty strong giant. Now, this is the problematic part, right? Because this is where that all falls apart. Again, especially if you have the shard necklace running. But yeah, in the mega horde, it can be hard to dash every giant, so you kind of just have to deal if you don't have your rage online. Still no additional coin buff. We haven't seen another soul buff yet either, so we have 3 rage potions left. Which, boy, that's really going to cut into the second half, right? Because we just now hit 11 minutes. We've been running our buffs. So we still got 10.5 minutes left on Critical Sword, Bunny Paw, and the Wind Dash Earring. But unfortunately, if we can't rage farm because we're all out of root, it's gonna put quite the damper on it. But nonetheless, what, about 11 minutes here, maybe 11.5 minutes, and we've farmed about 40 quintillion. I can get a more precise number when we're out of the bonus stage, but that's pretty good. And really, we had that value a lot faster, right? We've kind of been sitting around, no rage, no soul multiplier for a couple minutes now. I think we're at about 8 minutes in is where we did the bulk of that soul farming. Yeah, so I mean, Dark Factory is great, and you know what, you can really just lock into 2 areas if you're going to farm it this way. Dark Factory until you run out of root, because you're refilling your slime as you go while you're farming here. And then you can just jump over to the jungle. That's where you can coin farm, because the coin farm is better there. Refill your root, obviously. Turn on the mini games, do some scrap farm. And you don't even have to get your root all the way full, but obviously the fuller the better. But that can get you good and well resupplied, and then you just come right back to the factory and right back to this grind. So there's a times 26 CPS. So we're going to go to town and hopefully get an equipment boost, unless maybe we get one here, but I don't pull them out of the boxes very often. They must have a pretty low drop rate. Or maybe I'm just very unlucky. But if I go get the special drink in town right now, my chance of equipment boost is 1 in 3. Time added to CPS, so I mean, a lot of minutes on CPS multiplier and on the gemstone rush. Suppose we could hang out and be patient and see if we hit an equipment bonus, but we're going to go ahead and go to town and see if we can pull one out of the special drink. Got some minions to claim. We got a couple hours on Ninja. Very much enjoying the Ninja rework. And nope, we didn't get our 1 in 3 chance at equipment boost, and we didn't get our 1 in 3 chance at a soul multiplier. Instead, we got our 1 in 3 chance at coin value, which I get about 75% of the time. It's a point of frustration for me. What do we got? We're going to go back to Soulstone Rings since we're not rage farming. So, but I mean, we have a rage online right now, and we have 3 more rage pills in our pocket. So, you know, I was gonna rage at that one, and I thought, no, we better save it. And I should have raged at it. It would have pulled 5 minutes off of the next one. That's okay. Cut through this mega horde. Still have this rage online. And I mean, with 9 minutes left on my soul getting buffs, I kind of just want to, see if we can get lucky here, see if we can catch one more big soul multiplier. But we've already gained, 38. 38 quintillion in an incredibly short amount of time. I mean, even if it doesn't get better than that, and we're going to stretch that out to the 21 minutes, that's nearly 2 quintillion a minute on average for 21 minutes in the Dark Factory. It's incredibly good. If you're set for a rage farm, right? So I do like Funky Space, and if you're bow farming, Funky Space is so much better. The flying enemies are worth like triple what the flying enemies are worth here. And the ground enemies, the little star guys, we'll rage this one. Yeah. The little star guys, they're worth more than the ground enemies here. Really, the reason the souls, I mean, the soul tanks are decent, the small ones. But really, the reason the souls are good here is because of these giants. But if you don't have the damage to burst through them quickly, or if you don't have don't come in here with the resources to rage farm like I didn't, then this area is a little rougher to farm. You definitely don't want dark projectiles on, because you want to pepper the giants with the bow damage as much as you can. We're gonna skip that. I only run that because if I have a soul multiplier, it can be good. And you may be happy to hear that I believe I have mastered the technological magic of not getting notifications while I'm recording anymore. Everything told me to push the do not disturb button, and then that didn't work, and then I had to go into the do not disturb button settings. But I think we're there. So we have 2 more rages left. After this, we get a nice times 36 soul multiplier. We went ahead and spawned more giants, popped another compass, and this is great. We'll see what we can do to round this out. And I'm not just gonna rage all the way. We're gonna do it like this until we see the next box, since I can only rage a couple more times. Yeah, rage lasts about 16 seconds for me. Time added, oh man, of course, because I don't have I don't have the rage pills to take advantage of it, but that's fine. We will still enjoy having this even once our rage runs out. So again, we're gonna save that. We're gonna try to make it to our next mystery box spawn here, and then we'll go ahead and use that last rage. We're gonna hope for a horde, and we got it. Very nice. So that's a fine send-off. I mean, yeah. The only thing I'm unhappy about is that I came here with a suboptimal amount of root, because if not, we'd still be raging. We'd still be rage farming another minute on this soul multiplier. Another mega horde, which resets our rage. Oh man. Very nice. I think our whetstone wore off. Yeah, we'll pop another one. It can be easy to lose track with so many buffs running. But, yeah, doing all right. We're through that mega. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Another mega horde. And we still have our times 36. We are going to change our ring while he's fighting that giant. And like I said, the using your bow and your wind dash strategy gets a little lost in the mega horde with these giants. Really, the best strategy for mega hording with these giants is to have a rage online. Okay, that's there we go. There is another way one can go to simplify killing these giants with the bow, should one so choose. And really, you can do this anywhere, but obviously, here's one of the places where it's most pertinent. There is a dark divinity to where you can angle your bow fire, and honestly, I hate having it on. We went ahead and turned it on. But I don't enjoy it. I just don't enjoy it. If you can play like this and enjoy it and you're good at it, right? So now it's just wherever I'm holding to fire, that's the direction that my arrows are going to go. And even, I jumped over him. Even so, it's still harder. So this, right, my necklace is done. So the giants are spawning a little slower, well, a lot slower. So not able to count on them being there. I took that one down with the arrows, but look, that's so much effort, and I'm not capitalizing. I'd rather just go ahead and use the wind dash. There are a lot of applications for that dark divinity, by the way. Boss fights, for one. The Soulstone Guardian, I do feel like I kill him faster with it on than with it off, but that means I have to have it on the whole time that I'm playing, that I'm waiting for him to spawn, right? So I do without it. I don't enjoy having it on. But if it doesn't bother you, if you have no problem running the angled shot dark divinity, more power to you. And you can, especially if you're not right, because if I'm not speeding up, if I'm just going at walking speed, there's plenty of time to kill those giants with the bow, with angular shot on. But it's just not for me. And even if even if it is more efficient or could be more efficient, right? Because the giants are already worth a ton of souls. And if you filter that through the bonus souls that the bow gets you, right, that is more efficient soul farming than killing them with the wind dash. But at some point, for me, I have to decide between efficiency or enjoyment, and for if I don't enjoy something, but it's extremely efficient, then that's one conversation. But in this case, I only think it's mildly more efficient, or at least it's not more efficient enough that it's worth the downer of playing like that, in my opinion. But like I said, if you use the angular shot, if you enjoy it, if it gets it done for you, then you could possibly be more efficient at farming these giants with the bow and getting even more experience. But it's okay. I'm gonna stick with the version I enjoy and Windash them. And we have the Windash earrings, so Windash doesn't get as many souls as the bow. But for every giant that I kill with the Windash, that plus 40% Windash souls actually just means plus 40% giant souls, right? And ultimately, those killing those giants is the only reason that we come here to soul farm. The other stuff, like I said, it's fine. The small soul barrels, they do have a decent soul reward. The slimes really don't. The poison clouds really don't. Not as compared to other areas, right? Uh, but the giant soul tanks, even before, right, we get the awakened soul tanks with the new update that came out, gave us 2 more tiers of quests. And one of those quests was to kill 10,000 giant soul tanks. And the quest reward for that is you can evolve them into the awakened soul tanks, where they become even more loaded up on hit points, but also worth even more experience. So, but yeah, like I said, I do enjoy the Dark Factory. Mostly I come here just to idle. But it's, oh my gosh, it's almost 3 minutes on a times 22 soul multiplier. That's actually going to outlive the remainder of our buffs here. We only have 46 seconds on our buffs. But yeah, I mean, the soul farm here is good. And like I said, I do like to idle here. I promised y'all that we would do a video just for the Dark Factory at some point. And so yeah, here we are. We'll take that chest hunt this time around. Times 22 soul multiplier. Normally my chest hunt strategy is click the boxes as fast as possible so I can be done. But I do like to clear out the bottom row, like if I'm trying to be careful, because I assume there's probably not going to be 4 mimics in the bottom row. But if there are mimics, then there's a better chance I would click one at the start because it's a smaller row, right? So if there's 1 mimic in that bottom row, then I could click any random box and there's a 1 in 6 chance that I would hit the mimic with the 2 freebie savers you get at the start, right? So that's and then after that, yeah, I don't know, I just open boxes. That's my partial chest hunt strategy for as often as I care to be strategic. Again, like I said, if you got a good soul multiplier, especially if it's 40 or higher, the souls can be worth. I think I got 90 quadrillion out of that, which is not bad, right? I mean, if I do a bonus stage, I get like 2 to 4 quadrillions. So 90 quadrillion is 0.09 of a quintillion, almost a tenth of a quintillion. So it's not terrible. But if I don't have a soul multiplier going, I'm not enthused with chest hunt. I've been playing the game for years. I've done so many chest hunts. So many times I've farmed out all the items you can get for the perfect chest hunts, so I don't need to go for a perfect. Really, I'm just doing it to see if I get a shield so that I can get scrap. But yeah, like I said, keep arrow fire kind of centered low. I mean, going like this, you're going to spam high and low anyway, right? We're a machine gun now. We can just do this. Man, still a minute left on this souls bonus. Our buffs are all worn off. We might as well just take a total count now, right? So in those 21 minutes of buffs, we gained, well, that's a nice round. We gained 60 quintillion in 21 minutes. So that's quite good. That's about 3 quintillion a minute on average, and we couldn't even really fully take advantage of it because I was dumb and I came here without enough root in my pocket. I saw that I could only make 17 rage pills, but I thought that was because my slime was low, right? Which wouldn't be a problem since we get slime as we play in here. But unfortunately, it was not the case. How are we doing on stuff? I should probably go throw some goblin leather in the refinery. And we're probably gonna about call it there. So let's see how our refinery looks. Claws, that's good. Yeah, so we're gonna throw in just 1,000 goblin cloth. I do need to, I've been making a lot of bunny paw, so my upgraded cloth has dipped down a little. And I'm gonna have to go get wood sometime, but honestly, that's for the bunny paw, which only takes 1 refined wood, and the earring of Windash, or earring of the wind, which takes 5 refined wood. So I am gonna go need to get some wood, but not right now. That's nowhere near as pressing as I will run all the way out of this refined claw way before I run out of this wood. And I've got plenty of membrane, plenty of starch. Nothing even takes core. I'm hoping we get an update that gives us some more items so we have something to use the core on. But yeah, 60 quintillion in about 20 minutes of farm. Doing pretty good. We're gonna go ahead and jump over to the jungle. Tap it. All right, fine. And yeah, we're just gonna drop into idle for a while and fill up our roots. They're pretty darn low. I don't know. Maybe I should play active. Just if I do get anything big, right? We've got the slime to rage farm it, and then I can just get the roots back while I'm here. And I could turn my mini games on, get some scrap. We're sitting at 270 scrap. You can see I've spent myself down to 1 feather again. I've spent myself down to 19. Dragon scales. I can't help it, guys. I need to spend. I need to burn the resources, and it's fine though. You get them back. We still have 1 weekly that we're working on, which is this is my favorite weekly. It's basically the idol of weekly quests, right? Just wait. Just do your dailies and wait, and you'll get this one done. So that'll get us some feathers back, but it's my philosophy, right? Because those are a timed item. You only get those feathers out of the weekly quests, so you can only get so many a week, right? Guaranteed. You can only get so many a week. So some might say, don't spend them, right? Let them sit there in a big old pile because you can't just put on a whetstone and go farm them back, right? And I can appreciate that. But in my opinion, if I'm just never going to spend them, then it doesn't matter whether I have 1 or 1,000. If I'm never going to spend them, 1,000 is the same as 0. They're not benefiting me at all. And I never want to have just full-on piles of stuff. I got a full pile of Batwing, which I guess I should have tossed in for a long while. I was full. on all this stuff. So, but yeah, that's going to be good for now. A fast 60 quintillion, an average of about 3 quintillion a minute with our buffs on and our rage farm. Pretty good day. Yeah, I'll play this out. We'll get some slime. We'll do some root. We'll do some mini games. But y'all have already seen me do the jungle in the Grand Tour, where that's exactly what I was doing, was just getting root and doing mini games and while I active play. So we're gonna go ahead and call this one now. But yeah, there's our video on the Dark Factory. And y'all, if you're stocked for it, if you've got all the roots for big rage farms, if you've got good sword damage, you make the Deathbringer temporary item, and you can bust down those giants, and they are worth a ton of souls. It is so worth it to farm there if you're prepared for it. If you just want to bow farm, maybe throw out an occasional rage, I'd stick to Funky Space. But Dark Factory, I feel like, is one of the best kept secrets in the game. It seems so many people don't ever want to farm it. And I think it's just because they don't realize how many souls it's really worth. Chest hunt. I don't wanna. I'm not even. End of. All right. It's done. All right, y'all. We'll see you next time.